Hello everyone, I'm the Shades, and welcome again to Shades' Soapbox. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for all of the amazing support I got in the last video. I was really nervous about posting that. I was really worried about potential backlash from such a powerful, angry video, but all of you just really came out and said, thank you for saying that, you're free speech, you're free to say whatever you want. It really helped me breathe a sigh of relief knowing that I was allowed to post something like that without getting too much flack. So to everyone who showed your support, thank you very much. I assure you, I will not be doing videos like that very often. It was just something I really had to get out of my system. And because of that, today we're not doing something nearly as raging. In fact, I'm going to be doing something very lighthearted, something very fun that I think needs to be discussed, but doesn't need to exactly bring the rage on. So the other day, I was on my Discord chatting with some of my fans, and we were talking about introducing this new person to the world of Tokusatsu. And I started noticing a problem. A lot of my fans were inundating her with so much information that even I was getting overwhelmed, and I'm a fan as well. I can only imagine what it was like for this other person to try to absorb all of this information about this subject to try to see if it's worth getting into. I would have been scared the fuck off at that rate. So let's talk about how to introduce a new fan into our fandoms. Now, this applies to all sorts of fandoms. Anime, video games, toku, whatever. If you're going to introduce someone into a fandom for the first time, you have to take it slow. You give them a couple of recommendations for shows they might like to check out. Figure out what their tastes are, and maybe get an idea of where you can start them. But from there, it's a matter of them just finding something they like and letting them watch it. Once they start getting into it and start getting interested, then little by little you can start introducing them to other shows or mentioning other things that you might recommend or not recommend. But you cannot just hoard them with a pile of information all at once. This kind of thing can overwhelm even the staunchest of fans and can easily scare off potential new fans by doing so. I understand that we love our fandom, we love our passions, and it's great that we want to share them with people, but we have to know where the limit is. We have to know when too much is too much. It could scare off any new fans, and considering the Toku fandom is still growing, we need all the help we can get right now with that. We do not need to be scaring off new fans of this. Honestly, folks, when it comes to Toku, it's not that hard. There's a few good shows out there that you can check out. Kamen Rider, you've got stuff like Double, Gaim, and X8. If you want to go old school, Black, easily, without question. If we're going to talk about video games, there's always plenty of options out there. Figure out what kind of game you're into, see what looks good for you. Honestly, just jump, it's one of those things you can just jump right in. Anime, same thing. There's so many different genres. Look up some basic summaries of whatever anime it looks good to you. See if you're interested, check it out. You'd be surprised how easy it is to find a really good anime. It's not that hard, folks. Trying to inundate them with all this information would just overwhelm anybody. I mean, think about it in terms of anime. If someone was just getting interested in watching anime, think of how much you would have to inundate them with, and how easy it would be to overwhelm them. Because there's so many anime and so many different genres of anime, you wouldn't even know where to begin. It's one of the reasons why I always try to get a feel for what they might be interested in, see if I can point them in the right direction. Like, okay, what kind of shows are you normally into? Well, I like cop dramas. Okay, well, maybe something, how would you like it with a little bit of a sci-fi twist? Check out Psychopaths. I've heard that's pretty good. Get an idea of what they might be interested in and see if you can't point them into something that might match their interests. Simply put, let them figure it out for themselves. You can give them a couple of hints here and there, a couple of suggestions, but at the end of the day, they need to discover the fandom for themselves. If you try to tell them what they should and shouldn't like, they're just gonna say, well, then what's the point of me watching it? They need to figure out for themselves what they think is good and bad. I know that sounds harsh, and I know that sounds like, oh, well, what happens if they like something I don't? Well, then that's what they do. So what? It's not gonna change anything. They were going to end up liking or disliking certain stuff anyway, regardless of what we say. So let them figure it out for themselves. You can give them a couple of suggestions to start them off, but then from there, let them roam free and figure out what they like. Maybe they will like the same stuff you do, and we can talk about it all goddamn day. And this one's personal for my fans. Guys, take it easy. I know you guys are passionate fans, and I love you guys to death, but sometimes you do need to calm the hell down. I mean, I get passionate too, don't get me wrong. I mean, you guys see me. I mean, hell, I think yesterday proves how passionate I can truly get. But when it comes to stuff like this, you don't need to be that passionate. You can hold back a little bit. Take it down a notch. Anyway, I'll keep this one short and sweet. I think I've spent enough energy after yesterday, so thank you guys for tuning in today's Soapbox. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for soapboxes you'd like for me to talk about, post them down in the comments below, and let me know what you think about you know, introducing newbies. Maybe you guys have some suggestions on what we can do to introduce someone to a new fandom. You know, share your knowledge. Also, shout out to my patron Solar Star. Thank you for your continued support. Of course, thank you to Rakdai for your continued donations. And in the meantime, I want to thank you guys for tuning in as always here on the Soapbox. I'm the Shades, and we'll see you guys next time. Rock on!